We all recognise this as the cue to leave. The credits roll, lights come up, a murmur of opinion, and now it's time for a slash. Of course, that's not how it always is. Now a lot of us are trained to sift through franchise films' credits to be rewarded by something awesome.
I'm here to talk to you about the Avenger Initiative.
Or to be disappointed after watching 10 minutes of scrolling.
Hi, I'm Captain America.
But shouldn't we sit through all the credits anyway? They are officially part of the running time of all films. And they give the literal credit to the many talented artists who worked on the films. In principle. People don't come to the movies to watch credits though. They come for the story, the drama, to laugh, to cry, to escape. And in Jackie Chan's films, to see his life-defying stunts. Jackie Chan knew this, so in the credits would show you the outtakes of the hard work and determination it took to pull them off. Are these part of the film though? Suddenly we are seeing part of what the characters didn't, although characters don't see the credits either.
Kill me.
Unless of course the outtakes are fake, meaning they're diegetic.
Can we get a little more wax on the floor, please?
Making the rest of the film not? Wait, what does that mean? What does that mean, Pixar? Does Sully have a SAG card? There's a boom mic. There's a boom mic. What's it recording? Are they actually recording the toys in these movies? Did they just kill Flick and Heimlich? I don't understand.
I understand.
Do you? In being there, Al Ashby put the Hal Ashby, the murders, they just, I need therapy. In being there, Hal Ashby put outtakes of Peter Sellers flubbing a line over
What do I say?
and over again.
Get his ass down here. Oh, shit.
Which made Peter Sellers furious, saying it broke the spell of the film, and reportedly saying it cost him the Oscar. Although being there is comedic, it was not broad. The character being depicted was of a serious one, but then broken by his fumblings.
Sorry, carry on.
When Jackie Chan got his first American film role in the 1989 film The Cannonball Run, he was thrilled, but he quickly realised his mistake when they made him play a Japanese driver. And his counter sound cue was this. And they made him masturbate over sexual assault while driving.
You are about to witness the ravishment of a woman who has been abducted.
Oh, Jackie. Jackie Chan learned one more thing, which was how well audiences responded to the outtakes, so started showing them in his own movies. But Jackie understands that the credits should still carry the tone of the film. His light-hearted fare has more laughter. For films that also have a more serious edge, the outtakes are filled with the frustrations and bone breakings.
6, 5, 4, ignition sequence start. 3, 2, 1, liftoff. We have a liftoff. 32 minutes.
Although credits are not diegetic parts of the story, they are still tone setters with the correct music, font, speed, and animation. Nowadays, our first experience with credits comes in the opening where we see the major players' names separated from the crew at large, a legal necessity that's left over from a bygone era. Paradoxically, back in the golden age of Hollywood, the entirety of the credits was how a film began. If you got to the film on time, you had to sift through dollar credits that, if you were lucky, alluded to what was to come. However, it was the only household name of title designers, Sol Bass, who recognised the potential for credits to be an integral part of a film, acting like a prologue. The beginning should not be missed. Alfred Hitchcock famously banned anyone from coming in late to see Psycho. This was so they didn't miss the twist, but also they would have missed how Bass set the film up. So how do credits now be an integral part of a film if they have to appear at the end? You could ignore the rules and have them appear anywhere but the climax. subverting and provoking audiences, leading them into darkness. A font could make the credits a signature to approve the picture, or sign off with names that recontextualize what you've just seen, or just recap the entire film, or provide an epilogue to round off the story. A lot of these examples are just mid-credit sequences, which sometimes end up being the best part of the movie. To make all of the credits essential, you could lead the plot of an unfinished composition to finally play the music over the credits. But can we be even more intertwined with the story?
Oui, mais lui...
Instead of them playing after your ending, make them synonymous with it. Play them over the final shot. Both Let the Sunshine In and Call Me By Your Name do this, prompting an everlasting idea of longing and/or heartbreak. And this works because the audience is the only one gazing at this story. That makes it just a story though. If we employ this gaze through another's eyes, don't we get something much more powerful? An image that digs deep in your heart, leaving you with a weight that will make you unable to move from your seat when the credits play. Until eventually an usher tells you that the film ended 3 hours ago and they have now called the cops. Isn't this cinema as an empathy machine really working? How do we make the character's perspective and the audience's perspective deliver together the final moments of the film, i.e. the credits, and take whatever ideas it's trying to transmit out from the screen and into the real world, into yourself? You have to turn to Hollywood's biggest overthinker, this guy, Charlie Kaufman. Well, actually, that's Nicolas Cage.
You're in the eye line. Can you please get off the stage?
This is Charlie Kaufman, Oscar-winning writer of 8 movies, being John Malkovich, Human Nature, Adaptation, Confessions of a Dangerous Mind, Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind, Synecdoche, New York, Anomalisa, and the forthcoming I'm Thinking of Ending Things, as well as an uncredited rewrite on Kung Fu Panda 2, the best of the trilogy. This is surprising because he even criticizes his own credits. In Kaufman's debut novel, Antkind, the protagonist B.U. Rosenberg, a fictional film critic, takes constant potshots at Kaufman. But it's a subtle one at Kaufman's directorial debut, Synecdoche, New York, when B describes why his dreams are like films. There are credits, which is exactly like film. I can't read these credits, as they're white against a washed out grey sky, which seems like a stupid mistake for a dreammaker. An amateur's mistake. The mistake of a first-time dreammaker. I actually think these build from the film's ending of hundreds of artists being left faded away in a desolate fog, unloved. But Kaufman, as always, can go further. Anomalisa originally started out as a sound play for Carter Burwell's The Theatre of the New Ear, written last minute when the Coen brothers' sound play Sawbone could not be staged. Kaufman's original piece for Burwell's project was Hope Leaves the Theatre. This play begins with Hope Davis sitting, not literally, in the audience.
Once again, ladies and gentlemen, may I have your attention? Please take a moment to turn off all cell phones and pagers before the performance. Thank you.
Excuse me. Sorry.
The audience who have just watched Sawbone.
Is it Buscemi or Buscemi?
This hellish, overwhelming soundscape uses the afterplay chatter to immerse you in the next play and set tonally the meta weirdness to come. It's a great opening to focus an audience inwards, but if you want to take that empathy of a story outward, you do that idea at the end, in the credits. So Anomalisa was adapted into a screenplay by a mildly reluctant Kaufman and directed into a stop-motion animated film by himself and Duke Johnson. The central weird idea is that protagonist and audience perspective Michael Stone sees and hears every human being as one same being, all with the same face, all with the same voice. The voice played by Tom Noonan, credited as everyone else. And this is the film that takes the gaze you have onto the film and turns it onto yourself. What does it change visually to the credits that achieves this? Nothing. The credits are nothing more than credits. The signal to you that the film is over. It's what it chooses as its audio though. Instead of a theme remixed into a different style or a famous pop singer performing a song to sell soundtracks.
I won't give up, no I won't give in till I reach the end and then I'll start again.
The audio played over Anomalisa's credits is an echo of us. When I saw the film in the cinema with a sold-out crowd, as soon as the credits rolled, the murmurs of people's opinions began. Whether they liked the film, the rest of the evening's plans, their thesis on the film's themes. A moment later though, so did the film murmur. The same Tom Noonan voice of the same-faced everyone began discussing the film.
Excuse me, miss? Miss, yes.
At the very beginning you can hear someone get up to leave. Then the main focus is on a song that could change your whole interpretation on the film's plot in the story, but also could be a meta joke of how people think all songs are about them.
When I see a face, or hear a name, or am introduced to someone new, it doesn't matter, they're all the same. And none of them is you.
There are murmurs throughout this song, and then as the song fades away, you are just left with the voices.
He's talking about a legendary character. This is the great point or something. He says that like he says things like normal.
Like Hope leaves the theatre, but this time the voices of the crowd outside the projection of light become completely undistinguishable from the ones within. As I realised what was happening, I was living the same nightmare as Michael, that everyone sounded alike. I let out a laugh of acknowledgement and to relieve the horror of it. But as I did so, so did the film laugh. I had become indistinguishable from the faceless everyone. I was living out the fear of Michael's, of losing one's place, of losing oneself. Kaufman used the very basics of credits and the honest, inescapable truth of how people react to them to deliver with empathy his ultimate statements from his film. And I got to tell this to Charlie himself.
And it was indistinguishable, and it was horrible, and it made me laugh.
I mean, I'm really glad that you brought that up, because we love that about the movie. And when I think, you know, like a lot of times in the US, this movie is playing to an empty house, and I imagine then you're really probably aware of what we're doing there. But when we see it, it's usually because we're here and because it's an event. There's usually a lot of people, and I don't know if the audience can hear it. And we have this discussion. Do they even know, or do they just think that's more voices from them? And so I'm thrilled that you heard it.
Kaufman wonders if people notice this when the audiences are large. But I wonder if people feel the effect of it when they're sat at home watching it on their TV alone. Cinemas are going through a transition of change right now, meaning credits will change too. And how will Kaufman present his credits when his new film is instantly streamed at home on Netflix? A site that discourages watching credits and actually only gives you 9 seconds to actively choose to view them. Anomalisa is an astounding piece of cinema, and credits are a part of cinema. Always, I'm thinking of ending things, because credits are important. Each name makes a movie great. Is that good?
Oh yeah.
Good? Okay, great. Let's wrap this up.
And how do I feel about... I'm not Michael, you know? I don't feel that way about people, or at least I don't usually. And I try not to, and you know, I I mean, I think that this movie is such a sort of a testament to the individuality of people, because it's such a collaboration, and there's so many people whose voices are in the movie. I mean, Sergio and all the animators, all these people. I mean, so many people played Michael, you know, and so many people played Lisa, and so many people played all these other parts, including the voice actors. And I just think it's sort of, there's something really cool about that. And the movie exists in the form it does, and whatever is good about this movie is because of that, you know, not in spite of that. So, I don't know.
Wait, movies are copyrighted? And they tell me this at the end? Ah, balls.